Okay, when we're giving a speech in public, it can be tenseful, and we can like giving a speech without anything. However, there is some other way that can help us, like boost our confidence, and also make our speech more like easier to remember, and like also mark the most important points. And to help with that, we can use the help of multimedia. Using multimedia is an excellent way that we can use to engage our audience, and we can use to enhance the most important points in our speech. And then also it can also make it easier to remember what we're about to say in our speech. Okay. Using multimedia is just like when we wrote our speech. We just need to keep the same principle in mind when we design a multimedia component to accompany it. Being conscious, which is straight to the point, is equally important to making sure our audience stay with us. So we would want to use enough multimedia to reinforce our key point, but not so much that we overwhelm our audience. Along the way, we need to make sure that the content of our multimedia is logical, so that it is like easy to follow, and that it is usually easily identifiable image, bullets, etc. So, after talking about this conscious, neat, and organizing multimedia thing, we can think of the first thing, PowerPoint. Not only we like design a slideshow, so that when we're giving a speech, it can be easier um to give our speech. Okay, so if we're not like sure if we need a slide or not, we can ask ourselves, what is we need a slide, or with image and video clips, stuff like that. We can ask ourselves, what is the purpose of this? Okay, if a slide is interesting, but it does not help accomplish our objective, then it is a slide we can remove from the presentation. Similarly, if we can trim a video or reduce the number of image, it is often more powerful than leaving in content that does not reinforce our objective. Because if we do leave like if we do not trim a video, that then it can have some other information that do not related to our presentation, to a speech. And that can make our audience overwhelmed. That can make our audience confused. So if we can trim a video or reduce the number of image, or delete some of the slides that are not important, that do not help us accomplish our objective, we can remove that. Okay, with a slide we can do that. But okay, a lot of people would do slideshow. That's the most common thing, but we can also use image. Yes, we can also use image, like picture, sometime say more about our topic than 1,000 word, or so the saying goes. However, often when we search the internet or other sources of the visual that reinforce our main idea, we can find thousands, if not millions, of results. Our job as a speaker is to evaluate the possibility to choose one or two image that best reinforce the point, While there may be many more interesting or even humorous image, we need to think about our objective. Use select image to reinforce that objective. Because you see, when we're talking about, let's say, we're talking about zebra, but when we search the internet, we see a lot of cute picture of polar bear, and we use that. That's not gonna work, right? Because we're giving like a presentation about zebra, not about polar bear. That would confuse our audience, and then we're gonna lose our audience. Next up, we can use bullets. You need to make sure that there's a reason for you to speaking to an audience. So if you simply like cut and paste the text of our speech onto a slide, a paragraph at a time, then the audience could just read the information for themselves without you being in the room. So instead of like copying all the speech like that, we can use bullets, like short paraphrase of key idea and information. So just like a small idea, like a small main idea, and then we're just gonna use that to talk about it. Just gonna use that to talk about like the key ideas and information we're gonna use. So when we use bullet like that, it is a way to ensure that the audience is still need to focus on what we're trying to say. Like they're gonna still focus on us, because like we're talking about it, just using short paraphrase of key ideas, not like the full paragraph thing, because the audience can just read themselves. Now the last thing that we can use is using a video. Okay, if you don't want, we don't want someone else to speak for us, the video clip that apply to the topic of the speech can add like depth to the objective, and sometimes they can powerfully clarify a complex topic by like visually demonstrating something that would take much longer to explain. Videos can also provide a context to a situation that may be uncommon for your audience, but it would make another tool to help us engage and reinforce the understanding of our audience. Because the video clips can show a much better situation than us explaining it. It can show more of something. It's kind of like a proof thing. Video and image are kind of like a proofy things that we can use to enhance our speech. So if you're giving a speak out in public, you can just giving a speech on your own. But by using multimedia, it is an excellent way to engage our audience, and we can use it to enhance the most important point and make them easier to remember to ourselves. So if we are kind of nervous about it, just use multimedia because it also help a lot.